team. So we're going to just present the people that make the core part of our team. So we have the co-founders featured here, innovation consultants who are a part of our team. We also very luckily have our full stack developer, one of them here as well, and our UI UX designer, Rachel, as well as our product manager. So you'll be able to talk to a lot of our team members later today during the panel session as well. But if you've been to a few of these info sessions before, you probably know like how they go, but we're mixing up the format a little bit this year, is that it's Kahoot o'clock. So to start off with, we always have a bit of an energizing activity to get, I guess, the momentum and energy going. So if you do have your phone available, grab your phone and we'll scan the Kahoot QR code. But before I go into the instructions, this one's a little bit different. It's not so much a poll. It's a quiz about how much you currently know about Onova, given that today's an info session. So if you have been following us on LinkedIn, you might have a little bit of advantage. You might know a few of the questions, but here's a quick slide here. We're on Instagram and LinkedIn as well as on Substack with a newsletter. So we'll be sending this as part of the slides as well. And in terms of the actual prize today, if you do end up being the winner of our Kahoot, is that you'll get given a $25 Canadian gift card. So that'll be sent out to the lucky winner, the person who can answer the next 5 questions as quickly as they can. So we're gonna go over to this and we're gonna blow up the QR code. So if you do have your phone available, the game pin is 9881991. The QR code is available here. And we'll have some Kahoot music playing in the background. Give people roughly another minute or so to join. You see someone manifesting with their name here, winner. So other people putting in names. Someone putting in the game pin as their name. Interesting choice. Very nice. Okay. We're getting lots of people. I'll give people the last 10-20 seconds to sign up because I don't want to disadvantage anyone. First place, another person manifesting that winner energy. I like it. Okay, final 10 seconds. Will forever hold your peace and miss out on a $25 Canadian dollar gift card. All right, we're gonna get started. You can always join later and maybe you'll catch it. All right. So, how much do you currently know about Onova is today's quiz? Nice. So, question 1. What does Onova do? We run hackathons for large Fortune 500 companies, invest in early stage tech startups, operate a chain of luxury wellness resorts worldwide, or manufacture eco-friendly vehicles and trains. Nice. Okay, I think this tripped up a lot of people. So the Winning Together Fund, which is one of our other companies that we work on, that's what they do. They invest in early stage tech startups. So if you haven't been following us maybe too closely, you might have got this one like incorrect, unfortunately. But yeah, the main thing that Onova does as a service is to run hackathons for large Fortune 500s. All right. See some people. Nice. A lot of people. Nezar with first place so far, 900 points. All right, what is our current tagline if you've been following us? Is it igniting innovation at speed? Think more like a startup. We build innovation cultures that last, or it just takes one. So out of these 4 options, what is our current tagline? Nice, lots of people getting this one correct. Unfortunately, it is not. It just takes one. One day it could be, but we'll see. But right now, our current tagline is we build innovation cultures that last. So if you've been visiting our website and seeing the careers page, you probably would have got that one right. Nice. Up 7 places is Jinu. Very cool. All right. 3 more questions. Who are the 2 co-founders of Onova? So if you have strong attention to detail, you might have saw some facts before, but is it Brandon and me, Victor and Helen, Ying and Edward, or Rachel and Sarah? So if you came in early, you might have a little bit of a head start, or otherwise, if you've been following Onova and going to all these sessions, I hope lots of people get this one right. Nice. I think a lot of us were all flattered that people think it's outside of Victor and Helen as well. So that's really cool. I think Brandon and I will take those 3 votes as well. I'm sure some of the others as well. But yes, it is in fact Victor and Helen. They are the 2 co-founders of Onova. Nice. 10 players just hitting a answer streak of 3. So Nizar taking first place again. Daniela in third. Emma is in 5th. Nice. So in which year was Onova founded? Is it 2016, 2019, the year of the pandemic, 2020, or the year after, 2020? And now I've included this for the Victor and Helen. Nice. It is in fact 2019. So, well done. A lot of people getting that one correct. Maybe it was a process of elimination, but very great job. Nice. So this is very close as we go in. Only like quick maths, like 40 points or so, differentiating the top 3. So whoever takes this out, this next one, try to get it as fast as you can. Okay, the final one. What is a core part of our company culture? The most correct answer. Is it Friday night drinks, cottage sprints, poker nights, or board games at Go Place? Nice. So a lot of people getting this one correct. I like that a lot of people think it's board games at Go Place. That is for sure like becoming a core part of our company culture. But the most correct answer is cottage sprints, which we just had one of ours recently. So a bit of a reveal before we go in. Oh, a lot of people. So yeah, Go Place is so cool. So Yongshu in 3rd place. We have Emma in 2nd with 4,368. And in 1st place, I think I know who it is. It's Nezan. Nice. Congrats. So well done. Nezan, you're going to be send your email across as well, and you'll be getting paid for this. So congrats for that. Nice. Great job. And thank you so much for everyone for participating. And hopefully that was a little bit of fun to start off the session. Nice. Okay, this next part here, before we get into the information you can learn more about Onova, is now it's your time to take a Zoom selfie with Onova. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to get Sarah to help take a selfie for us. And so everyone, if you can get your cameras on. Nice. Sarah.
Okay. Yep, I will give it on the count of 3. So in 3, 2, 1, after when I say it, just say Onova. So everyone get ready in 3, 2, 1.
Onova.
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 Nice.
Amazing. Pass it back
Thanks
to you,
so
Ron.
much, Sarah. All right. So I'm going to pass off to Victor now, who's going to go in more depth about a company.
Awesome. Thanks, Ron. And thanks for taking us through that lovely Kahoot. Congratulations again to Nazar. You crushed it. I think I'm hearing some background noise, so just a reminder for folks to please go on mute. But giving a little bit of a background story, as Ron mentioned, I am one of the co-founders of Onova alongside Helen. But really where we all started came from actually the corporate consulting world. So Helen and I met as corporate consultants in Toronto. And actually we were just running hackathons on the side for fun, both in Toronto, San Francisco, New York, all across North America. Started to pick up a lot of traction doing this internally for the company we were working for at the time, but as well externally. Long story short, we ended up winning a couple industry awards for kind of our work that we're doing as this side passion. We were eventually able to turn it into effectively our full-time job within the company. So really, Onova started as an internal startup within a massive 300,000 person consulting company. And then of course, in 2019, as most of you got correctly on the quiz, is when we spun off officially Onova as its own innovation consultancy outside of that firm. So it's been just over 4 years in the making, and a really exciting journey for us is going from this journey from working as corporate consultants, running our own consultancy, and now everything else that we're building, which I'll give you all a little bit of a glimpse into. But effectively, our mission really here at Onova is helping the world's biggest companies build innovation cultures that last. And why is this important to us? Because ultimately, this is so that we can influence the world's largest companies that have millions and millions of customers across the globe, as well as millions of employees, to ultimately do good. And how do we do that? Is specifically by enabling our clients to rapidly innovate through the power of their top innovators. So really tapping into their 10x employees, inspiring people internally to become entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs, and build new and innovative products and services. And this is ultimately so that the why to this is so that we can help their employees really find meaning and fulfillment in the work that they do. This is something that's really important to myself and to Helen, but also everyone who works here at Onova is really finding that fulfillment, that passion, and finding work that really aligns with what you want to do. So all in all, what we truly believe is what's good for employees is ultimately good for business and, of course, good for the world. So we're trying to create that triple sort of like win-win-win situation in the work that we do. But that's our mission and sort of vision at a high level. In terms of how we actually get that done, we have 3 core services that we do on the innovation side. So one is innovation sprints, which is what we just use as a broader term for things like hackathons, as well as design sprints or idea sprints. But essentially, these are collaborative events where you just bring a lot of people together. We do these at scale with thousands of people, and then they work together in teams to build solutions, products, services, et cetera, to some core business challenges. The second thing that we do is around product incubation. So once you have hundreds of ideas, how do you actually take some of those ideas and turn them into products that eventually get launched into the market? So we help companies figure out how to incubate, and we support them in that incubation of those products. The last thing we do is actually we'll even help clients do that prototyping. If they don't have the resources within themselves, we'll actually go through this process of designing and prototyping products for them. And this, especially with the recent generative AI wave, is something that we're seeing a lot more interest and demand for. So quick, just by the numbers, our work to date, we've worked with client engagements that have spanned 40 plus countries. So despite being a Canadian company, our first clients have been, actually last year was the first year that we had our first Canadian client. Before then, all of our clients were international or based in the US or in the UK. We've generated over 2,000 different proof of concepts for different products, mostly software products, but really spanning a diverse set of types of products, and have engaged over 10,000 employees at the companies that we serve as clients. Just a quick couple examples. This was one of our most recent events. We worked with Capgemini to run their very first generative AI hackathon. So this was a 2-week virtual event with over 1,000 employees. So a lot of really cool concepts came out of this one, where we partnered with primarily with Google to power sort of like the tooling behind this hackathon. We've worked with Bank of Montreal here. So this has been our first Canadian client. So more local to us, but we worked with BMO running their first sort of innovation sprint / hackathon across 3 cities in North America. So Toronto, Chicago, New York, which is a ton of fun with about 200 to 300 or so employees. And then, of course, our very first client is actually McDonald's, and we've been working with them for now over 5 years, powering their sort of annual global innovation event, just bringing thousands of people across the globe. It's also our most complex event, where we have 40 plus countries involved, but multiple cities also happening in person during around roughly 28-hour time period. So that's on the consulting side and the sort of corporate innovation services. Where we've really started to grow as a firm and where we sort of like take, generally speaking, like the profits from the consulting company and start to invest is actually building products of our own and investing. So I know many of the folks on today's call are interested in our internships and on the development side as well as designer side. So that's where you're building sort of the products within our venture studio, where we're building ventures in-house and then as Ron mentioned earlier, we also have a venture fund where we're investing in early stage tech startups. So just a quick overview of some of those companies. One of the very first that came out of our venture studio is an e-commerce company called Anoki Bathhouse, which is more or less fully spun off as its own company at this point. But this was actually came out of Helen's creativity. And essentially this is a e-commerce company selling bath kits to recreate the bathhouse spa experience at home. The second product that came out of our venture studio is a hackathon management and logistics platform called Earth that many folks on our Onova team are building here today. So this essentially goes hand in hand with our consulting services. So we'll typically run a hackathon, but also have all of that managed through this software platform. Leading up until the last year, we've been using third-party apps and software to power our hackathons. So it's been a really amazing journey now having actually our own software platform to run the whole thing. And this idea actually came out of our very first cottage sprint over a year ago. It was incepted through kind of like our own mini innovation sprint, and now has become like a full-fledged product, which is really cool. Last one to touch on is our newest product, which is building the world's first AI poker coach. So Brandon is our product manager on this product, but some of you might know that I'm an avid poker player, and this is something where we see a huge opportunity to build one of the world's first AI poker coaches, especially with the advent of generative AI. Won't go into a ton of detail right now, but that's a third product that you may be working on if you do join us for an internship. Finally, last piece here is on the investing side. We have the Winning Together Fund. We've made about 10 investments so far into a wide variety of early stage tech companies, from AI companies to blockchain companies to different sort of work from home technology companies. And the idea here is keeping fresh in terms of what are the latest and the greatest startups, and then also finding opportunities to introduce some of our portfolio companies to our corporate clients. Many of our clients are always trying to figure out what are the best way to work with startups. So a lot of this sort of synergistically works together as we continue to help our clients innovate. And of course, we love to kind of explore and evaluate new startups. And it gives us a lot of information for ourselves as well as we continue to build our own companies. So that's the quick overview. Ron, I believe I'm tossing back to you to go into what are open roles.
So we have the innovation consultant intern role, full stack developer intern, as well as the UI UX designer. We've also included here around some employment requirements as well. So just make sure when you are applying that you read all eligibility requirements and details on our website. And some other announcements on this particular slide is that we're going to be starting interviews as early as next week. So please get your applications in as early as possible. The intern applications will be closing next Sunday, October 1st. But there is a little bit involved because you have to make a 1-minute video and everything. So please try to get on top of it and get your applications in early. And then finally here, I know that we say 8+ months preferred. And the reason behind this is that we want students and interns who are working with Onova to see a full project cycle. And that generally requires, students, if you're starting in January, to work through the summer as well as like finishing off towards the end of the year. So the summer is full-time as well as part-time hours during the semester as well. But if you want more details, it's also on the website. So a core part of another reason why you're here at this info session is to learn, like, what does it mean? Like, what is the Onova success factor? And like, I think I made a little post about this recently, but what kind of makes an exceptional top tier hire? So I'm going to go into 5 different factors that make someone a good hire at Onova. So the first one is around being mission aligned and passionate about what they're doing. So a lot of this is being brought into a particular lifestyle where you blend work, play, and life together. And this doesn't necessarily mean like, so in this particular part is that people are genuinely passionate about hackathons and innovation at large companies. And we can dive into this a little bit deeper as well during the panels if you'd like to know more. The second part here is around being detail-oriented and organized. And this really shows through not only in your videos and your applications, but also during the case study portion as well. And the reason why this is important is because when you are organized and highly detail-oriented, that improves the overall quality of your work. The third success factor here is around being emotionally intelligent. And the reason why this one is important is because when you are working, you always get feedback, and it's important to self-reflect, to be self-aware, and also to be vulnerable around the people that you are working with. And even though you have a great growth mindset, like a core part of this about being vulnerable is to be open and like admitting around like where you have made mistakes, where you can improve. And I think that's the only way you're going to get like dialogue, and I guess the best way to improve at a much faster pace as well. This fourth one here is about being an adaptable self-starter. So this one is about being proactive. It's about really taking initiative and creating your own work and not waiting for work to come towards you. And this fifth one here is around tenacity, grit, and growth mindset. Essentially, when push comes to shove, being able to be resilient, clicking into that fifth gear, but also having a really strong growth mindset in terms of like discovering aspects where you can improve the most, whether it's in presentation style, technological aspects. But yeah, just truly having a full growth mindset here. So these are the success factors which we can dive deeper into during the panels as well. We're going to outline the actual interview process because I know there's a few questions around this as well. So when it comes to the interview process, there are going to be 1 to 2 behavioral interviews at the start, trying to, I guess, like flesh out some of those, characteristics that we're looking for before. Generally, these interviews are quite like light in some ways as well, but we'll have like roughly like 7 or 8 questions, just a normal behavioral interview in 25 minutes. And then the second part is a virtual case study interview where you get a chance to prepare in 24 hours a case. You have 8 minutes to do that presentation. And then afterwards, you have a few questions from Victor and whoever is interviewing you for that particular role. And then finally, a few more behavioral questions as follow-up. And then finally, to close off the interview process is a founders chat with Victor. All right. So in the last 5 minutes or so before we do go into the panels, and you can have a more like closer or intimate chat with either the innovation consultants or the developers and designers, is we're going to go over some of the fun stuff as well. So this is the Onova cottage trip, as Victor mentioned earlier, this is where Earth came from. It's crazy to think that was like just over a year ago, but we just had our 3rd cottage trip recently, which is a lot of fun. It was a super nice Airbnb. I think we just released the video as well on LinkedIn. So if you haven't already, please check that out. There's like animal onesies, a lot of good food, and plenty of good memories, and also like D&Ms as well. So this next part here is our in-person socials, and I'm not sure if this was touched on earlier, but we do have a studio now in Toronto as well. And with a lot of the team in Toronto, it just makes having in-person socials a lot easier as well. So we have a few different photos here. A lot of the team went to Collision together. We've been to the rec room before, CNE, as well as a hip hop dance class as a group. So plenty of, I guess, sporting activities, food activities, and yeah, just a great way to bond with the team after work. These next ones as well, I think Victor touched on the actual elements when it came to the innovation sprints with BMO and McDonald's. But if you're more of a visual learner, here are some photos to see what that looks like as well. So a lot of fun activities, big stage. And yeah, I think there's something special about an in-person event. And yeah, this is where the magic happens with hackathons. And this is the slide as well for McDonald's as well, if you'd like to see. All right, so we're going to split off to the panels 5 minutes early. So these are the instructions as well. So we have 2 particular panels today. Please join the appropriate room depending on which particular role you're interested in. So we have the innovation consultant one, as well as the developer and designer one. Victor's going to be staying here in the main room, and we'll also have the slide up. If you have any issues, just type it into the chat and we'll make sure that someone moves you to the right room.